So yanko, and the only issue or difficulty with this has to do with the destruction of public property. But ideally, Parliament is a house of debates, and when you do honoma, kabinami kebi, we kawajun, so kawajun. But new man almost say no, and I say the whole process.
Yeah.
And I say no, but Annor Dompreh, Jerry and Afenyo, they were doing their work.
I see. At that time, we saw the chairman sitting there quietly.
Yes.
What do you make of the chairman as a chairman of the committee, and he couldn't turn his left, right hands, all of that? Do you think that was the right thing?
When it gets to the level where the whips are in charge, at that point in time, we are in charge of the people.
I see.
And that is how come.
So when, you have to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, that's how come. Even in Parliament, if they say the whip says we are voting this way, the majority leader cannot go do otherwise.
That's what we.
For a sign so meeting Parliament few days ago. I think the Speaker Alban Barbin has to take a decision. Me say conversation be circulating. Man for church say I was saying Crawford mo causing our Parliament to a point. Omunyo man no usually be essay no I also muntia hoka and out of war last time obi sa na ka say Parliament homono obi MPB I 15,000 and I think say Alban Barbin has to deduct some amount of money from their payment. Yeah, more 5,000 now say 10,000 na kano. They should make sure say they use it to renovate. San your man no assess no ho. In this case, make share the micro minority omo MPs Wejagbawe MP Jerry Ame be including Afenyo markings any Annor Dompreh. Problem omo cause or Parliament no. They have to pay for it. And out of all without manjili, yen share interview I call so was CTV in some kwakwa nandi betuja and out of what when me ya let me know your idea in the comments because it's about time this Jimmy and was saying jai vetting cause this kind of things they happen. And we share in Crawford Winsuniati Sanyo Mana is from the micro minority side. Now of what the NT and some Wakukwan and the Tuja. Now mami who are doing your comments anymore.
And Afenyo, they were doing their work.
I see. At that time, we saw the chairman sitting there quietly.
Yes.
What do you make of the chairman as a chairman of the committee, and he couldn't turn his left, right hands, all of that? Do you think that was the right thing?
When it gets to the level where the whips are in charge, at that point in time, we are in charge of the people.
I see.
That is how come.
So you have to rise to the
occasion. Yeah, that's how come. Even in Parliament, if they say the whip says we are voting this way, the majority leader cannot go do otherwise.
That's what we call them whips.
Yeah. They will whip you in line. They will whip you in line. Because when they say this is how we are going, everybody, whether you are a deputy speaker or you are a majority leader, that is the line you have to do.
And say, or ship and see your mom could yasu ye bubu no ma
ye deal no. Who's on one commando we say man kunya no so but I want say e bufu no do some level then people begin to lose control. And the minority no say no, if we don't do this, come what may, the majority will have their way, and we will not allow them to have their way, and cause all these problems.
I see. So not to say, we cannot blame the members of Parliament in that much. Per what we saw yesterday,
we can only blame them for Nyomana Omaseno.
Okay,
but say for them to disagree on something,
on their hot tempers.
For them to disagree, it's allowed. Only say do baby or but they don't hit each other and all those things. But if it gets to that level, we can blame them so much anymore. And if you have followed today's proceedings, the Speaker of Parliament actually says that they will deduct it from the salaries of the parliamentarians involved.
I see.
Yeah, to fix them. So it is one of the directions of the Speaker.
I see.
Yeah.
Good. So quick one. Now tonight we are learning that the Speaker has suspended 4 members of Parliament. Yes. Who are these people and why?
So it is the reason why when I was watching the video, I knew very well that the whip system was at play. If you look at the members of Parliament that have been suspended, you see the chairman of the committee is there. He has not been suspended. Afenyo, who is the ranking member, has not been suspended. But Afenyo, the chief whip for the majority side, has been suspended. Annor Dompreh has been suspended. Jerry Ahmed has been suspended. Then one other MP from the minority side, Al-Hassan Tampul, for Gushegu constituency, has also been suspended. The 4 of them.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
If Dianke also take responsibility.
Really?
The chairman of the committee and the ranking, in charge of the committee. It should be what? The first people to be suspended. But at this point, the speaker suspended the whips because discipline. They are in charge of discipline. They are supposed to make sure that the MPs are disciplined.
I see. Good one, folks. I believe, sir, be bringing understanding of this because be bringing NTS. If I share messages, Abamiha be bring ADD your MPs not term near there. But however you may insult me, not insult. There are certain aspects where you need to understand them. Sir, one more kasa ye did because like y'all said, it's a house of debate. But microphones in the next they've gone beyond the threshold of that responsibility. But there's also tears to say yes, it will be a whip. No, be a minority leader. Yeah, quickly before you go, one person and who hear me one pa Jerry Ahmed.
Yes.
That fresh guy, that new guy.
Yeah.
And he was just pushing tables or more lifted they call a whole lot of stuff. Not just give us that perspective. Say, was it wrong what we saw yesterday night and said this is about parliamentary business?
Okay, thank you, Chief. Parliament, the way
yeah.
The Ghana Parliament operates on the whip system. And under the whip system, it drew time of decision taking.
Yeah.
Mostly the whips that are in charge.
Yeah.
So that is how come the whip will, and they are mostly in line with the position of the party.
MC, can we see the video along?
They are mostly in line with the position of the party. So whatever decision the political party takes, it is the role of the chief whip to ensure that the parliamentarians fall in line.
Yeah.
That is how come sometimes say the person will vote about the abandonment in the whip to be sure say he is actually towing the line of the party. In the course, if you listen to the majority leader, or party say ideally they were supposed to vet 3 individuals.
Yes.
But along the line, they had a consensus that they could increase the number to 4.
Good.
From 4, and they decided they were increasing it to 6.
Okay.
It's almost vetted through level, I think the majority side wanted to vet more people. And minority for say we do threshold, you go beyond those numbers. Then days I stand off on a buy. But if you watch carefully what happened in Parliament, you realize that 2 people played a key role in this.
Exactly.
Honorable Frank Annor Dompreh, then Honorable Roxanne Nelson Afenyo of South Dai, the 2 of them. And another person you talk about is the gentleman, Jerry Ahmed. Yeah, he's a deputy to Annor Dompreh. So he's a whip.
So he's a deputy whip.
Yes.
I see.
At that particular point in time now, is the whips that mostly are in charge of discipline in Parliament when it comes to the MPs. Until when the whip says that this is what we are doing, every parliamentarian will fall in line, or they whip them in line. Until Afenyo we took a decision at the leadership level, and when he was the majority leader, and my brothers on the other side agreed that we'll go this way. But the next day, that means that the party is giving them a direction.
Okay. Party is
it's giving them a direction. This is how we want you to go. And once that happens, it is the responsibility of the whip to ensure that the parliamentarians fall in line. And to said that Annor Dompreh, they played crucial role.
I see.
Baby now say no, we won't agree. But Afenyo was there, and then the chair of the committee was there. But the 2 of them, they were just commanding the MPs, and they were. So
can I ask you yourself? Can we say, sir, your friend is saying the whips yesterday were doing their job as whips? So as per the reactions that was going on, and how should the Ghanaian interpret this? They
were actually doing their job, but they couldn't control the members to ensure there will be no damages. You can decide that this is the decision we want to take. To the minority now, we will not participate in the vetting anymore. We won't also leave to allow you to do the vetting.
Okay, yes. So how to explain to us?
Because mostly what we hear is that in Parliament the minority have their say, the majority will have their way. So when they said that, baby, we are tired, let's cut off the proceedings. The majority insisted that the vetting will continue. they knew very well if they walk away, the majority will carry on with the vetting.
Oh.
So we will not only have our say, but
now paint a picture for us where you see now Afenyo Markin has become very vociferous. Afenyo Markin has become, very hot bed, hot iron. Do you foresee, say, the minority, if you like, put it in that of quotation, micro minority, do you foresee, say, it's as though they are losing their relevance, and therefore, so it will look as though the super majority of NDC for back machine and or more years, and I say they are overdoing it. How do you place them?
Thank you, Chief. Afenyo Markin's position, they are just 88 in number.
Yes.
And at this point in time, it is mostly the minority in Parliament that holds government accountable.
That's correct.
If you recall, the 8th Parliament, the minority then, they had huge numbers.
Yeah.
And at a point in time when they decided to go against the e-levy, even though the e-levy was eventually passed, the minority decided that they were not in support of the e-levy.
Yeah.
And that decision is one of the reasons why MPP lost woefully. So the minority got something out of it. Afenyo Markin and his people at this point in time, they are supposed to be seen to be a strong opposition is needed in Parliament, and they do not have the numbers. Until soft kakrana majority already know the numbers will trample upon you. And so if you are becoming a bit soft, you cannot even operate at all, and you'll be rendered useless. So at this point in time, Afenyo Markin and then in Kofono, they will be known after the 4 years. As to whether they were a weak minority or a strong minority, because they don't have the numbers. And majority always have their way. They will always have their way. They want to cut public sympathy to a large extent because so you need strong people to lead the minority at this point in time in order to be able to hold the government accountable.
So are you therefore suggesting or saying that with the hardline stand of Afenyo Markin, we should not find too much fault with, therefore Afenyo Markin should be allowed to operate as a minority leader?
No. So when you follow the proceedings on the with the committee, Afenyo Markin is a ranking member, and what a lot of people have complained is that the chairman is allowing him to ask too many questions. But per their rules,
he's asking. Yes.
Their rules and their procedure, he is allowed to ask countless number of questions.
Say that again.
Per the rules of the committee, Afenyo Markin does not have limited number of questions to ask. So it is his discretion to decide whether he wants to ask one question, two or three. If he decides to ask 1,000, the chairman must allow him to ask those questions, except in a situation where the chairman feels that the question is inappropriate and he will rule out, or you ask him to rephrase the question. But he cannot tell him ask 2 questions or 3 questions.
But members are limited in terms of
the other members are limited.
Supplementary questions.
They are limited. So if you watch carefully, the members that are limited in terms of the number of questions they can ask, they push some of the questions to Afenyo. Because at that point in time, maybe I wanted to ask 5 questions, but I was allowed to ask only 3. What will I do? The leader he has counselors, so he will have the opportunity to ask those questions on my behalf.
I see. Now, viewers, I hope education move follow ni just say ebiso ntia says adan yama kwan ma Afenyo Markin obisansem but here yaw is given a build up say per the rules of the game of the committee Afenyo Markin there obetime bisa question bia as many as to me bisa